Howdy guys, it's Joe, and during the last few days, and really the last few months, I've been playing a lot of Overwatch, and specifically, I've been playing a lot of Overwatch competitive. You know, I've been really enjoying it. I've been climbing up, I've been falling down, all the way through it, but during all my time, probably one of the most annoying things is, of course, finding a really bad team, or just a horrible team that you just can't really feel to carry. And today I want to talk to you guys on how to not tilt for future games, or even on the game that you're playing, when you have either a horrible team, or just a horrible team member. Now I do have an example about this that I want to go about before I really start saying anything, and I had a Hanzo in one game. And you can kind of see where this is going. So, you know, I was playing, I think, Zari or someone. I've been playing a lot of Zari. So I was playing her. I was doing decent. You know, I wasn't, like, being super carrying, but I wasn't being the worst. But we had this Hanzo. He'd jump in 1v6 over and over and over again. Just jump in by himself, kill himself, and no matter how many times we told him in voice chat, no matter how many times we typed, he would just go in by himself. Eventually, we tried to go in with him, but he just run all the way to the backline for some reason by himself. And I feel like that was really, really tilting me. I was getting really under my skin, and it was kind of annoying. Having someone like that can be really, really annoying. And the thing is, you know, that went through the game. I finally finished off the match, and I was, you know, kind of pissed. When you have something like that, you aren't a happy camper. But soon after this, you know, maybe 1 or 2 games later, I realized that really didn't matter way too much. I did lose that game. I was kind of annoyed by that game. But honestly, I'm a better player from it. I've learned a little bit more from that game. As well with that, I can kind of make up for that in the future. And I can hope for better plays in the future. And I also have to realize that I'm not always going to be the guy that always gets the troll. Now, I feel like this really happens quite often. You're going to be playing a game, a few games later, I think like 5 or 6, I was playing again, and they had an attack Symmetra. And you know, when I was playing, I was just like, well, that's kind of lucky, they have an attack Symmetra. She was going in by herself, she was being useless. But the thing is, when you're the one winning against that, you're like, wow, this never happens to me. That's just kind of lucky this one time. But when you're the person that, you know, happens to have the bad person on your team, you're like, you know what, this always happens to me. Every single game I get someone like this. And after recording all my games, or recording most of my games, that really isn't the truth. A lot of the times, you will not be getting these troll teammates. And I know there are case-sensitive studies, you know, where somebody just happens to get very, very, very unlucky and does always get these people. But for the majority of players, it won't always happen. And you will definitely have a good chance to be able to do well, and mainly do better in the future. And you do have to remember this. This is one of the things that's really been getting me through ranked. So I've been playing a ton of ranked. I went all the way up to 2,900 from like 2,500, and then, you know, my friend got to diamond, and then right after that, I fell all the way to like 2,600. Just lost a lot of games in a row, and I was a little bit tilted, you know, a little bit angry, but I did have to realize it's okay. I learned from those games, I learned how to improve, and from that, I've climbed all the way back up to like 2,850 or something like that, and I'm still climbing right now. Of course, along with me, I don't have the most time in the world. I can't always spend the most ranked games, but even if you do have to lose a few ranked games, you can learn from them, and of course, you can just hope that you don't get the same luck in the future. That's essentially it. You can't always expect the best luck, and you kind of have to expect for the worst. You kind of have to expect for what you don't want to expect. You might have an attack Hanzo that's just not playing very well. You might have a Junkrat that just doesn't know how to shoot, doesn't know where to shoot, or you might just have a healer that keeps dying for some reason. It's okay. That's one game, or even a few games, but that's not every single game you can play. You do have to realize that you should not really get tilted by this. You should realize maybe this player is just not playing the best. Maybe this player is trying their best and they're just really not the good of a player, and you should let it go and continue on your way. You won't gain anything by being angry about this person. Of course, you could try to, you know, report them or something like that. You could try to ban them so you can't hear them anymore. But other than that, you won't gain much at all. I have another example of this. Again with the Hanzo. So I was playing with this Hanzo, and then I played one game. I lost because of him. He just wasn't really doing way too well. Played another game, and you know, he was doing decent that time, but we still lost. And then played a third game, and for some reason he was freaking godlike. Well, that's just kind of how it works. Sometimes players, they play really bad. Sometimes players play really good. You kind of just have to realize situations change, games change, and sometimes players are just really good versus other certain players. There's a lot of people that play very defensively, and some people are very good versus defensive players, while some people are very good versus offensive players. You have to realize situations change. Everything really changes quite a bit, and you shouldn't really think that, you know, you're just going to lose because you lost last time, and you shouldn't really get angry about your loss last time. You're learning a lot, you're improving a lot, and you're just getting better, I guess you could say. And as well with this, you have to remember that really skill is the only thing that really matters in Overwatch. Now, winning other games can give you an actual advantage, but winning in Overwatch, you know, being 50 rank higher, doesn't make you have any higher of a chance to win. Really only having more skill, having more map awareness, knowing when to be where, knowing how to shot call, that's how you'll win more games, not previously winning games. It's a little bit weird, but winning previous games doesn't give you a boost. It doesn't give you an extra item. It doesn't give you extra gold like it could in an MMO. You have just the same ability to win now as you do 30 wins from now. So you do have to also keep that in mind. Now, another thing I want to say is that even in these situations, a lot of times you will have a very bad player. And I've had quite a few in my past. I've been playing a lot. I've had quite a few bad players. And as well, I've been the bad player in a few games. You do have to remember, sometimes you're the bad player. Sometimes you're tilted. Sometimes you're not playing the best. In that case, I'd recommend, take a break because you don't want to tilt people that are playing online. But, sometimes there's just a bad player. There's someone not doing the best. And that's okay. That's fine. And not everyone has to always be perfect, do their role perfectly. It's okay when people mess up. And one thing that I really found out is that a lot of times you can kind of make up for some people. Now, of course, if someone's trolling or someone's doing exceptionally horrible, you can't really make up for that. But you still can kind of learn, how to improve, how to play your character. A few exact situations you can get better at. But when someone's playing, below average, a lot of times, if you're playing quite a bit above average, then you can kind of carry them, and you can kind of win the game, or at least tie. Now, I have another example from this. So I was playing about 3 or 4 days ago, and I was playing Ana, I've been playing quite a bit of her, or Anna, whatever. And we were playing a match. We honestly didn't really have the greatest team comp. We started off on offense, and I think it was Hollywood, and we failed at getting the first point. Feeling really bad about that. We failed by a long shot, about like 4 minutes or something. Yeah, we had to go through all that. We used all the 4 minutes, and then we eventually failed. It was really bad. We weren't doing very too well. Our morale was super low. I stayed as Anna. I was thinking, you know what? Maybe we can win. Maybe we can beat this team. The other team did have a Pharah. And the first game, I wasn't really focusing her. I was going more for the backline supports. In this game, I thought, maybe I'll focus the Pharah, and then I'll go for everyone else. So I learned from my previous game, and I applied that to this game. I focused the Pharah. I took her out pretty much by myself because we had no other hit scan because no one would switch to that. And then after that, I got a 4-man swipe. I was by myself. I 1v4'd the people on the point, and we got eventually a tie on that round. A lot of times you can get some stuff like this. If you're playing really well, if you're doing amazing, or even if you just learn from a past mistake, even from the same, game that you're playing in, just from the previous round, you're just increasing your chance of winning. And when you increase your chance of winning, it can kind of help you think in your mind, I'm doing better, I'm getting better. And I feel like when you feel like you're getting better, you really don't tilt as much. Probably, at least for me, the main thing that really makes me tilt is when I lose, win, and I don't really feel like I'm getting better as a player. I don't really feel like I'm improving. I don't feel like I'm going up in rank. There's something frustrating about staying exactly where you are. And, once you finally learn how to improve, or once you just learn that, you can't win every game, but you can improve from every game, then I feel like a lot of that frustration will go away, and a lot of that tilting will go away. And as well with that, if you just have a really big problem about tilting, this is the final tip. If you have a big problem, and if you just have absolute trash, well, just mute the person first off if they're talking or whatever, and then don't type anything. Don't make them any more angry, especially don't make yourself any more angry. If you just simply ignore this person, try to think to yourself, talk to yourself, be like, this person's bad, but, I can still improve, I can still try better. As well with that, maybe I will auto-lose this game, but, I can win the next game. Maybe the enemy team will have this guy in the next game. Well, I feel like that can really help you not rage quite as much. The main thing that you want to do in this game, the main thing you want to do in competitive is not rage and not tilt. Because if that happens to happen to you, you're going to go on huge losing streaks. I was raging, during like one night, I got a really bad team and I wasn't doing very too well myself. I was really angry. I played 5 more games, lost all those games, went way down. And you don't want that to happen to yourself. You don't want that to be able to happen to yourself. So just keep calm. Remember that you're always learning. Remember that you're improving. And remember that really everybody does have to go through these people that are trolling. These people that are just not the best right now. And that's fine. That's how it works. That's how everybody has to play. And you do also have to remember that even the pro players, when they're on a Smurf account, have to deal with these people. And even with that, they still climb. So obviously, it is very obvious to see that no matter what the situations are, you can climb if you are getting better or if you're just improving a lot. Anyways, those are just what I'm thinking. Tell me what you guys are thinking. Tell me how you guys deal with your absolute trash in your team. I think ignoring them is probably the best thing. And also a thing that I like to do sometimes is, just play some, motivational music, play some, Dragon Ball Z music, really any music like that. Just kind of get yourself in the zone, get ready for the next game, and go on a little bit of a break. There's a lot of stuff you can do in my opinion. And one final thing is that you shouldn't get way too angry when someone is playing a character that you don't personally want at that time. Now, a lot of times you're going to be having a team comp, and a certain team comp that you want for a certain map. And a lot of times, people won't control that team comp. They're going to be playing what they want to play, and they're going to play how they want to play. And that's not always the worst thing in the world. Sometimes, A, they're going to have a better idea than you and do better than what your idea was, or even B, they're just going to be way better at that character than the character that you wanted them to be. And that's okay. It's okay to have people that aren't playing the characters you want. And please, please try to not get way too angry when people are playing other people that really aren't really meta right now. I know that it can be kind of annoying. I know that it can be a bit annoying to have to fight for and fight against people that aren't meta, as a lot of times they aren't way too strong, and you do feel like you have to carry just a little bit more than you should. But keep it on, carry on, and you will be able to play well with these people. I don't really feel like there's any character in this game right now, for the most part, that can completely lose your game. At least if the player's trying to play them, you still have a chance. So just play as if you had a chance, play the best you can, and don't get way too angry if the team comp isn't exactly what you want, or even similar to what you'd want. And yeah, there you go. That's just my ideas. Tell me your own ideas in the comment section below, how you stopping yourself from raging. Now, this is just one of the things I've had a problem with, of course, in past games, and I've learned a few things from other YouTubers, learned a few things, you know, from reading some books, stuff like that. So tell me what you guys think, and of course, as always, comment down below that. Also, leave a like if you did enjoy this video, and subscribe if you want to see any more, you know, either mental thought processes like this video, or if you just want to see how to improve, or if you just want to learn about the meta right now, if you want to learn about my ideas about the meta. Talk about a lot of stuff on this channel. Anyways, though, guys, thank you all for watching, and as always, have a wonderful day.